Good afternoon, sir, and afternoon. For today's video, we have a process of mitosis and meiosis. First, what is mitosis and meiosis? Before we tackle about meiosis, first we know what is mitosis. So mitosis is a type of cell division in which one cell, or the mother, divides to produce two new cells, or the daughters, that are genetically identical to itself. In the context of the cell cycle, mitosis is the part of the division process in which the DNA of the cell nucleus is split into two equal sets of chromosomes. The phases of mitosis consists of four basic phases. We have prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. But some textbooks list five, breaking prophase into an early phase that called prophase and a late phase called prometaphase. So these phases occur in a strict sequential order. And cytokinesis is the process of dividing the cell contents to make new cells, or starts in anaphase or telophase. So the stages of mitosis: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Cytokinesis typically overlaps with anaphase or telophase. So cytokinesis overlaps with anaphase or telophase. Doon po natin mai-encounter yung cytokinesis between anaphase and telophase. So you can remember the order of the phases with the famous mnemonic. So please P on the mat. So P is the prophase, mat, M is the metaphase, A anaphase, and T is the telophase. But don't get too hung up on names. What's most important to understand is what's happening at each stage and why it's important for the division of the chromosomes. So, prophase. Prophase is the first step of mitosis. This is when the genetic fibers within the cell nucleus, known as the chromatin, begin to condense and become tightly compacted together. During interphase, the parent cell chromosomes are replicated, but they aren't yet visible. They're just floating around in the form of loosely collected chromatin. We have the prophase diagram here, which is we have centrioles forming mitotic spindle, centromere, and chromosome consisting of two sister chromatids. The left side, that was we call early prophase, and the other side are the late prophase. In the late prophase, we have spindle microtubules, centromere, fragments of nuclear envelope, and spindle pole. So, in early prophase, the mitotic spindle starts to form. The chromosomes start to condense, and the nucleolus disappear. In early prophase, the cell starts to break down some structures and build others up, setting the stage for division of the chromosomes. The chromosomes starts to condense, or making them easier to pull apart later on. The mitotic spindle begins to form. There. Forming mitotic spindle begins to form, and the spindle is structure made of microtubules. strong fibers that are part of the cell's skeleton. Its job is to organize the chromosomes and move them around during mitosis. The spindle grows between the centrosome as they move apart. The nucleolus, or nucleoli, or in plural, a part of the nucleus where ribosomes are made, disappears. This is a sign that the nucleus is getting ready to break down. That was the early prophase. Next is the late prophase. So, in late prophase, the nuclear envelope breaks down. There, the nuclear envelope breaks down, and the chromosomes are fully condensed. In late prophase, sometimes also called prometaphase, is the mitotic spindle begins to capture and organize the chromosomes. The chromosomes finish condensing, so they are very compact, and the nuclear envelope breaks down, releasing the chromosomes. So the mitotic spindles grow more, and some of the microtubules start to capture the chromosomes. Next is the spindle anatomy. So, spindle anatomy, we have anatomy of the mitotic spindle. Diagram indicating kinetochore microtubules bound to kinetochores and the aster. This is the aster. This is the kinetochore tubules. The aster is an array of microtubules that radiates out with the centrosome towards the cell edge. The diagrams also indicates the centromere region of a chromosomes, the narrow or the waist where the two sister chromatids are mostly connected, and the kinetochore is a pad of proteins found at the centromere. Here the centromere. There. Microtubules can bind to chromosomes at the kinetochore. A patch of protein found on the centromere of each sister chromatid, or the centromeres, are the regions of DNA where the sister chromatids are most tightly connected. Microtubules that bind a chromosome are called kinetochore microtubules. Microtubules that don't bind kinetochores can grab onto microtubules from the opposite pole, stabilizing the spindle. More microtubules extend from each centrosome towards the edge of the cell, forming a structure called the aster. Next is the metaphase. Chromosomes line up at the metaphase plate. Under tension from the mitotic spindle, the two sister chromatids of each chromosome are captured by microtubules from opposite spindle poles. In metaphase, the spindle has captured all the chromosomes and lined them up at the middle of the cell and ready to divide. So at this stage, the two kinetochores of each chromosomes should be attached to microtubules from opposite spindle poles. This is called the spindle checkpoint and helps ensure that the sister chromatids will split between the two daughter cells when they separate in the next step. So this is the diagram of metaphase. There. The centromere align in an equatorial plane. So, a pair of chromosomal chromatids align in equatorial plane. Next is the anaphase. Anaphase is a chromosomes break at centromeres and sister chromatids move to opposite ends of the cell. Next is the telophase. Telophase is the spindle disappears and a nuclear membrane reforms around each set of chromosomes, and a nucleolus reappears in new nucleus. In telophase, the cell is nearly done dividing, and it is start to establish its normal structure as cytokinesis, or the division of the cell contents. The mitotic spindle is broken down into its building block, and two new nuclei form one for each set and chromosomes. The chromosomes begin to decondense and return to their stringy form. That is a diagram of the telophase. Telophase is followed by cytokinesis and the division of the cytoplasm. Next is the meiosis. Meiosis in humans is a division process that takes us from a diploid, one with two sets of chromosomes, to haploid cells. In humans, the haploid cells made in meiosis are sperm and eggs. When a sperm and egg join in fertilization, the two haploid sets of chromosomes form complete diploid sets as a new genome. There are many ways is a lot of meiosis and like mitosis. The cell goes through similar stages and uses similar strategies to organize and separate chromosomes. In meiosis, however, the cell has more complex tasks. It is still need to separate sister chromatids, the two halves of a duplicated chromosomes, as in mitosis. But it must also separate homologous chromosomes and the similar but no identical chromosomes pairs an organism receives from its two parents. Since cell division occurs twice during meiosis, one starting in cell can produce four gametes, or eggs or sperm. In each round of division, cells go through four stages: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase like mitosis. So in meiosis 1, before entering meiosis 1, a cell must first go through interphase, as in mitosis. The cell grows during G1 phase, copies all of its chromosomes during S phase, and prepares for division during G2 phase. For instance, we have here the phases of meiosis. Crossing over is a homologous chromosomes exchange portion of their chromatids in a process, produces new combination of alleles. We have here the homologous chromosomes, centromere, kinetochore, and sister chromatids. There. The meiosis 1 method. In meiosis interphase 1, chromosomes duplicate. In the prophase 1, homologous chromosomes pair and exchange segments, or the synapsis pairing of homologs to form tetrad. In metaphase 1, tetrads line up. In anaphase 1, pairs of homologous chromosomes split up. Next, in meiosis 2, cells move from meiosis 1 to meiosis 2 without copying their DNA. Meiosis 2 is a shorter and simpler process than meiosis 1, and you may find it helpful to think of meiosis 2 as mitosis for haploid cells. The cells that enter meiosis 2 are the ones made in meiosis 1. These cells are haploid, have just one chromosome from each homologous pair, but their chromosome still consists of two sister chromatids. In meiosis 2, the sister chromatids separate, making haploid cells with non-duplicated chromosomes. We have here the diagram of meiosis 2. As you see in the diagram, many changes like meiosis 1. The two sister chromatids, each chromosomes are captured by microtubules from opposite spindles. In metaphase 2, the chromosomes line up individually along the metaphase plate, and in anaphase 2, the sister chromatids separate and are pulled towards opposite poles of the cell. So how meiosis mixes and matches genes? The gametes produced in meiosis are all haploid, but they're not genetically identical. Each gamete has a unique sample of the genetic material present in the starting cell. So, that's all. Thank you.